Hey, hey, how are you? My name's Todd. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena. We're in Pioneer this time, which I'm going to start the video off by clarifying because this looks an awful lot like a standard deck list, considering you see Chandra over here. But there are two big other win cons right next to it that we'll talk about in a minute. Because this deck is Izzet Turns, which is a deck that kind of ruled standard for a bit there. And then Expressive Iteration and Alrund's Epiphany got banned, and they were like, ooh, that was a lot of the deck. Yeah, it was rough. Fun fact, Expressive Iteration, banned in this format too. If I can find the card. Come on, you can do it. There it is, nice and banned. Yeah, Expressive Iteration is banned in this format, otherwise that would be here in the 2-drop slot because that card is ridiculously strong and I love it to death. But this is As It Turns. It's a tempo rampy strategy that more or less involves controlling the pace of the game via counters, removal, bounces, and then ramp in the only way that Izzet can, treasures, leading into ways to double an extra turn spell that gives you creatures, such as Alrund's Epiphany. This card is incredibly powerful, and if you can buy yourself enough time early to foretell it, you can make it so that your extra turns are even more powerful because you will have more mana on the turn that you cast Alrund's Epiphany. Sideboard has stuff that Divide by Zero can hit for the learning, Mascot Exhibition to make a board presence, in case you're trying to, bounce something on one of your extra turns and then get a board presence afterwards. Teaching to the Archaics if you want to draw more cards, and Environmental Sciences for a little bit of life and mana ramp. Like I said, this deck is basically based on an old version of a standard deck that I used to run myself that I enjoyed quite a bit. It has obviously been edited to match tempo a little bit better. In the Explorer play queue, we have stuff like Fiery Impulse as our earlier removal in place of other spells. Brotherhood's End is here in order to be a board wipe into the more aggro-based decks. And our top end includes Chandra, who allows you to copy spells, and Shark Typhoon, which allows you to make sharks. Our biggest win cons are all three of these cards here on the far right, though. Without these, if these cards all are not allowed to resolve in some way, shape, or form, we are probably not winning the game. Our next best bet is Mascot Exhibition, or Din of the Bugbear and Hull of the Storm Giants going the distance, which is very possible. Those cards can go the distance on their own. However, our biggest win cons involve playing Shark Typhoon or using Shark Typhoon to maybe just make a big shark, Chandra to double instants and sorceries, or maybe just ping your opponent for big amounts of damage because the -X can target face, and then Alrund's Epiphany to make a bunch of birds. This deck does basically play Solitaire as its win con, I will warn you, so if that's not the type of gameplay you like to watch, you've been warned. But it does take a lot of interaction and hemming and hawing and tempo play to get there, because you have to find a way to get there without losing. So, let's hop right into the video. As per usual, the deck list will be down in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and let's hop into the gameplay. We have a pretty good starting hand, so we'll keep it. We have good removal into a counterspell. We don't really have ways to draw cards here. Salundi Vision does help with that. I think the best play here is to play this on red. The other best option we had was playing Spikefield Cave tapped, but I have a feeling that says there's probably stuff we're going to need to be able to remove soon. So yeah, I'd like this game plan a bit more. We do have Make Disappeared in order to hit any 3-drops they try and play. It looks like they're probably going for like a Heliod life gain, maybe. Maybe a Squirrels deck. Voice of the Blessed. We can let that resolve, because in response to the trigger, we can blow it up with Fiery Impulse. And we get to hold our counterspell for something more dangerous. Brotherhood's End, pretty okay card. Don't really want to use it too much in this matchup. Ooh, Nykthos. Spicy. Daxos. Daxos can land. We will Salundi Vision to go hunting for some cool stuff. Divide by Zero is, in fact, cool stuff. We'll pass. Why do we want Divide by Zero? Because it'll allow us to learn here in a bit, potentially, which could just kind of save us some tempo. We can also use the learn trigger to discard draw. We can just resolve that, and then just kill it in response. That's one of the reasons we like to run Fires of Victory in this deck. I'm going to try and cast something larger now, which is why we cast it the way that we did, so we can just make it disappear. Tempo, baby, tempo. I think we've hit the point where we play Spikefield Hazard tapped. Yeah, we'll play Spikefield Hazard. Actually, we'll pay 2 life, because I believe if they don't play... Actually, I'm not sure. Never mind. I was gonna say if they... I could Shark Typhoon for 3 and kill off Daxos, but if they play stuff differently... I don't know. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, you are not allowed to play that card. Please come again. We are actually going to cycle away the Spikefield Hazard here. If they play another creature that doesn't do anything, okay. Unfortunately, Adeline does go around Brotherhood's End, which is a little frustrating for us. Can we do this? Yeah, we can do this. We can get away with this. We can get away with this because we will be able to double Brotherhood's End no matter what they play, and that will probably wipe out their board state pretty efficiently. Unless they do something incredibly fancy here. I should be able to take care of it. I wonder what my opponent's win con here is. I'm unfortunately in just kind of a bad position. I could have cycled away the Shark Typhoon. Don't think it's the right play. We get tons of time here, though. Because they don't really grow at all. And then I think we just Brotherhood's End twice. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean our Sharks all die, but their board state is entirely reset. We have a Chandra in hand, and Chandra coming down will make a big old Shark and provide us with the ability to blow something up that is maybe 4 toughness. We are in a pretty tough position overall. I feel like mono-white life gain here is probably in a better scenario than us. Yeah, this is fine. This is non-creature spells, though, so, ooh, Oketra's Monument. Spicy. Yeah, I think we'll just slam Chandra here. Make a little Shark. Do a little plus him. And just vibe with a big ol' 6/6 Shark in hand. Or on board? Inboard? On board. On board. We can use Galvanic Iteration to just make Sharks. So unfortunately their board state just got huge, but we have a 6/6. And fun fact, we can -6 Chandra if we so choose. Okay, that's just unfortunate, because now we need to -8 Chandra, which I don't believe is possible. Wow, you ever just watch your opponent hit exactly what they needed off the top? Alright, well, we have a chance. Because we do get 2 extra turns here, and we get a big ol' Shark. And I believe we can now blow up both their Righteous Valkyries. That was literally all we could ever hope for. That was perfection. My lord, I've never top-decked something quite so lucky in my life. Being able to hit that gave me the entire turn I needed to be able to uptick Chandra to -8 her, which decimates my opponent's board presence, gives me an extra turn, and makes a bunch of flyers. And then I would have another turn afterwards. Oh my goodness, that was lucky. GG, mono-white life gain. On to the next. A wonderful starting hand with 1 big asterisk, but we love it. This is massive amounts of tempo into any aggressive creature-based strategy, being able to bounce or remove stuff if we so need, and it gives us a turn to be able to play Stormcarved Coast tapped, basically making us not have to make a decision on what color mana we need to play. Because some decks, bouncing their creature threat doesn't help you because they have like powerful ETBs or yada yada yada, and you kind of need to know that type of stuff if you're playing a tempo-y deck like Izzet turns here. Looks like it might be some type of aggro list. We will play like this. Probably some type of aggro list. Roiling Vortex. Not what I expected. Not what I expected at all. I'm very confused as to why they're playing that. I guess for one instance here, one exact instance here, they actually have it have a really good thing over me. If I'm copying if I'm copying spells, it's really bad for yours truly. But if we divide by 0, we should be able to find an answer. Divide by 0 will bounce this out of the game because divide by 0 just says return stuff to hand. It's pretty good in that regards. I wonder if they're playing Burn. I don't know if they're playing Burn or Aggro. It's hard to tell. Goblin Chainwella. Technically speaking, I don't really want to bounce this, but I want to scry and make sure I'm hitting land drops here. I want to kill it instead because I don't really like taking a bunch of damage like this. But we will now have access to Fiery Impulse and a Negate, both, meaning that if they try and play more Roiling Vortexes and things of the like, we don't have to worry. Before they can cast anything else. Bonk. Right in the snoot. We have a counterspell, and we kill off their Nykthos mana. This will enter tapped. I still don't quite get the point of the Roiling Vortex. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little confusing. I don't quite know what my opponent's actually doing. Okay, we have Memory Deluge, that'll be able to help us find answers. I need to mute them, that goblin is annoying as crap. Are they just planning on winning via not playing the game? I don't know. Divide by 0, wonderful. Chandra, wonderful. But I need an extra mana to cast Chandra. So I can't really take her. Start by taking an extra turn. We're basically buying ourselves a bunch of time here. We're going to take our extra turn. We're going to bounce away the Roiling Vortex. Have they really been sitting on Play with Fires this entire time? Alright, let's go ahead and divide that by 0. Get it out of here. We have a negate to counter it in a bit. We will be going to get a Environmental Sciences to try and gain some life, unless we draw something that I like better. We did not. We will Environmental Sciences to gain some life. We will go get a basic... I guess in this instance, blue is probably best. And we will stay back, and we will basically use this opportunity to rebuy ourselves some tempo, counter out that annoying piece of garbage. I'm tired of getting pinged in the face every turn, opponent. Stop it! Stop it! Yeah, this card doesn't really do anything to me that much. They can power up the Den of the Bugbear now, like, in response. But I am at, I'm going to take 3 damage out of this. And then the next time they try and do it, I'm going to Fiery Impulse it, or Baiting Hope it or something. And that took away, like, their entire turn. And if they don't, I get the tempo to use Memory Deluge, which is pretty nice. Or I could just power up the Hall of the Storm Giants, honestly. That's also a possibility. So it becomes the target of a spell. Okay. Meaning that I kind of want to go find a, Chandra's not a spell. Okay, my turn? Yeah, because Chandra leaves open 2 mana here, which means that I can,
Enough talking. Let's do this.
Yeah, this is not a spell. And to be fair, they can kill off Chandra in return, but getting rid of their big ol' 4/3, much better IMO. IMO. That's fine. I still kill off their Bone Crusher Giant. I don't have to deal with it. And I'm slowly working towards playing more Alaron's Epiphany. I'm on the hunt for a Galvanic Iteration at this point. Goblin Train Whirler, not exactly scary. They can't power up a Den of the Bugbear. Meaning I get to do this and go scrying. Kind of want more red mana. That is fine. It'll allow us access to, say, a big score, for example, as well as being able to burn stuff out. We're going to do that because I really want to take 2 extra turns at once, because I think that's the only way I win the tempo game here, is basically taking multiple extra turns simultaneously. think they're trying to think of ways that they can do this. I think we have to let this go through. We're fine, though. 8 life, more than enough. Yeah, we will go ahead and hit this. We will drop that. Draw 2 more cards. Viva Cycle of Ostensider, because we are way too late in the game for Sensor to actually be useful. We're at the point where just finding a Galvanic Iteration to take 2 turns is more important than keeping those treasures available. Shark Typhoon's great. And I really like Negate here. 1, 2, 3. Divide by 0, wonderful. That will enter tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I can play Shark Typhoon. Wonderful. Playing Shark Typhoon means I basically just get away with murder here. They went straight to combat. We blow up their Chain Whirler. And we do it with Fiery Impulse first, just in case they have something that Negate is much more suited to dealing with. They are very anti-power up their Den of the Bugbears for some reason. They did it once, and now they're scared to do it ever again. We do have access to Negate, so we can just bounce or counter an actual spell they cast. Creatures or anything are a little scary. Okay. Spells that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. Okay. What if I just take an extra turn first? That gives me a 7/7 and then 2 1/1s. The 7/7 can be a pretty powerful piece. We will big score, and we will drop away a land. We could still possibly find another extra turns. We kind of want to find another Chandra. Okay, math is incredibly hard here, but I think we just win. Ah! I'm sorry, opponent. I'm trying. I clicked the wrong button 3 times in a row. I apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, we have more than enough mana for this. Say hi to Chandra. I bet they can see the writing on the wall. We're about to take 2 more extra turns, and yeah. Yeah, they can see the writing on the wall. Chandra will just kind of pop off. Did I have fun? I had fun. I don't know about them. Chandra will pop off. If nothing else, it removes Terror of the Peaks and allows me to swing in with 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage. Actually, that's lethal. I just realized that's lethal. I missed the lethal line. I was too busy thinking about taking extra turns. Whoops. The lethal line is you -4 Chandra, hit the Terror of the Peaks, hit face, swing for lethal. Because I don't think Mono Red would find a way to kill a 4-drop at instant speed. I guess they could. They have 3 mana. No, they only have 2 mana. Never mind. I don't think they can kill a 4-drop for 2 mana. Either way, GG's opponent. On to the next. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. But we're going to keep it because I can't say no to 2 Chandras in the opening hand. Living till turn 3, probably going to be problematic because that's the only time we get interaction. But we'll do it, right? We'll live to turn 3. Looks like our opponent might be playing a bit of a slower game, so this might have been an amazing keep after all. Oh, yes! This was a great keep! Oh, this ended up being an amazing keep. Not on purpose, mind you. Ooh! Let's go! Tempo! I don't think many decks other than Izzet Turns plays Divide by 0, and they may have been out of, like, mana or lands or something. This makes me think that they were probably blue-green poison, which I think we would have probably beaten eventually, but it would have been a tough back and forth, but GG's. Going first, pretty okay hand, we keep. We can play Steam Vents tapped because we can't do anything with it anyways, and have up Sensors on turn 2 and 3, either for cycling or countering. Whoop. Drew a better land. So it looks like we're either playing mono white weenies, mono white humans, some form of mono white. I don't want them to get a free card. Seems weird, I know. Don't get me wrong. I know that seems like a very strange play, but like any form of tempo that I can win is really important in just about every single matchup. Any amount of tempo is wonderful. We'll go ahead and get Teachings of the Archaics, actually, because I believe we'll be able to actually draw off of it. And we got access to Fiery Impulse, meaning that unless Anointed Peacekeeper names Fiery Impulse, he dies, making his choices moot. And if he doesn't name Fiery Impulse, he gets bounced back to hand with Fading Hope. So they are in a bit of a pickle over there. If they don't name Fiery Impulse, the Anointed Peacekeeper dies. If they do name Fiery Impulse, he gets bounced, and then he dies on a different turn. And because we are all about tempo, all of these options are fine to us. We're in a very powerful position. Really? They're naming Fading Hope. Let's find out if they have a protection spell. No, they don't. Okay. Good talk. You know what? Let's just double foretell. It's a spicy choice. It's a very spicy choice to basically waste out all my mana like that. Yeah, none of that really matters. We're just going to go ahead and cycle away. Oh, Galvanic Iteration. Oh, can we do it? Can we take a double extra turn? We need one more land. Okay, so we get one more land, we big score away the Fading Hope, and then because of that we get to Galvanic Alruns. Anointed Peacekeeper. Darn. I believe they can still name Alrund's Epiphany, even if they can't see it in my hand. I believe they have the power. I could have technically, in response, big scored away their Galvanic Iteration. Oh, they're just naming it? Okay, well. Begone Thought? Nice. This, takes care of it all wonderfully, as a matter of fact. Because we can still do it, because we hit the extra land drop. Of course, they could name Fiery Impulse now, instead of Galvanic Iteration, but if they name Fiery Impulse, then we get to Galvanic Alruns again. Alright, well... let's go ahead and take 2 extra turns. Take another extra turn here. Go ahead and hit for 4. Go ahead and hit for 6. Power up the Hive and swing in for what would be lethal unless they blocked with their Anointed Peacekeeper. And now, Mono White needs to find a way to deal with 6 flyers, and that's probably game. Hey, they could have a Sunfall, but if they spend all their turn playing Sunfall, we have Hollow the Storm Giants. We mostly have this in the bag. Wandering Emperor does allow some life gain, but I don't think that just about anything they do here will save them.
But I'm going to end it.
As you can see, we have 1 open mana, meaning that,
Not much of a roadblock.
oh, they're just... man, they're going ham! Alright, well, gonna kill the Ambitious Farmhand so it can't transform. And then we're gonna kill this guy, and then we're gonna swing for lethal, right? I don't know! They did the smart play. Alright, we will bonk one of these bad boys, regardless. They had a really powerful turn there. Go them. They're still very close to dead, though.
Our swords will cross.
And we have Make Disappear, which can sack a bird in case they try and play, like, anything that's super, super scary. They don't arms is fine. We still have lethal in the air. Wedding announcement. They'll get an extra blocker out of this, but we have lethal in the skies, so that's just game. Fly, my pretties! Alright, the birds murdered the shit out of them. God, this deck is fun. I know you're playing solitaire, but it's so satisfying when it works. GG's. Man, we are lucky. Going first, good tempo. We're keeping... because we're going first, we're allowed the option of, Storm-Carved Coast here. We're allowed to keep a tempo play in hand. What the fuck? We're gonna hold back, because I don't know what the hell my opponent's playing. If we lose, which we probably will. What if I try and kill it? I just want to find out what happens. We might be 2 for 1-ing them, but it's fine. 2 for 1-ing as in we're going to, Oh, so it's some type of weird tempo-y strategy? I don't know. Get that out of here, though. I don't need another land right now. No, thank you, game. Salandi Vision, wonderful card. Allows us to guaranteed hit a spell here, which will be very useful in general. Siren Storm Tamer, interesting. So, like, I don't know what the heck they're playing. I guess we'll find out right here and now if they're playing counterspells, though. Am I allowed to Salendi Vision? Yay or nay? I don't know if they're playing, like, actual counter magic or if their counter magic is on their creatures. It's so hard to tell with a deck like this. They're playing kind of flash flying style, which is typically evasive. It's not really pirates, though, so I don't know why they said... Wait, is it pirates? No, it's a Salamander Drake. Are they pirates, tribal, and mono blue? But then why are they running the Drake? I'm so confused. We're probably gonna just cycle the Censor unless they play some really big creature threat that I'm scared of. I don't want you to play that. I don't want you to draw cards, opponent. And if they try and do it again, we will target the original Curious Obsession because they cannot pay. This will go off as intended, so to speak. We are in a bad position. We might not play this land. We kind of have to play it now in case we draw an extra turns, or like extra land here. We're in a bad place, though. I feel like I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I feel like I'm gonna get my ass kicked here. I feel like they got something. And I feel like I'm not allowed to, Science? Nah, resolved. Alright, weird. We will just vibe then. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I am completely lost. Some type of mono blue tempo-y nonsense. We are getting supremely unlucky. Doesn't look like they're really playing much interaction, or I got out a lot of their interaction early. So adapt 4 means they put 4+1/+1 counters on it. Oh mein Gott. I don't really have another choice, so we're just going to go ahead and swing with the big boy. You want to take 7 to the face? They do! All of the Storm Giants is a very short clock. It's, honest to God, in my opinion, a underrated all-star of a lot of formats. I don't know why they're saying good game. I mean, it's a 5/5, but... Let's go ahead and do this. Holy cow, man. Really glad I drew that off the top. I don't know why they're saying good game. Maybe it's just because they're going to just keep rising this Terramander's power. Maybe they have an extra turn spell over there. I don't quite know what they hit with the good game for. I'm gonna try and do this. I mean, are they gonna... You should wait until I attack if you're gonna do that. Wait, why did that just fizzle? I don't know why that just fizzled. That was very confusing. We cannot do this until our upkeep, unfortunately. Why did their ability just fizzle? That's so very confusing. I don't know why. I'm so confused. I'm so incredibly confused by what's happening right now. This is not a card I'm familiar with at all. Like, at all, in the slightest. I don't understand what's happening. I really, really do not understand what's happening. We have plenty of turns to just keep chump blocking. I think we just keep on the pressure with the fucking Hall of the Storm Giants. What if we just, like, be gone? It's a channel ability, not a spell, so it's not counterable. They can sacrifice, but I can pay. So we're just gonna power up all of the Storm Giants and keep on swinging, which now needs to be chump blocked. Now needs to be blocked. Okay, and then after this turn, I believe we just straight have lethal. If we Brotherhood's End them. Try and prevent them from drawing as many cards as possible. Does my opponent finally have a way to target Hall of the Storm Giants? No, I am so confused! I am so incredibly confused. Diamond 1. I think that they just didn't want to chump block all of the Storm Giants. And so instead, they went with the mentality of, I'm just going to die? I am so incredibly confused. I like the idea of their deck, though. I'm not gonna lie. I might steal some of this. This looks cool and fun. Lots of, like, instant speed shenanigans and mono blue. Kind of like evasive flash speed stuff. It seems cool. I like the idea. I don't know why they just gave up and let Hall of the Storm Giants beat them to death, though. GG's? Opponent goes first. We have pretty decent starting interaction and such. We can smash in a Steam Bents and pray that it's a 1-drop. Okay, never mind. We're playing Den of the Bugbear so that we don't take too much... yeah, we'll play Den of the Bugbear so we don't take too much damage and we can still have Spikefield Hazard in case they play something with 1 toughness. The turn 1 play with fire always confuses me. Not as much as the turn 2 play with fire. I think we might have to shock in the Steam Vents, though, just to hold up negate, just to keep our life total high. That's a 2-1, that's fine by me. Let's actually go ahead and pay the 2 life. Very strange, I know. Gives us negate, gives us gives us access to multiple things. Most importantly, negate. Taking out their Kamano means that I just, like, now don't have to worry about Kamano faces Kakazan. And we have taken out 2 of their play with fires. I feel like they were probably trying to play around to light up the stage. Totally understandable. We will go ahead and foretell an Elrond's Epiphany. Because we don't really have much else to play here. Monastery Swift Spear, not the end of the world. We will blow up the Monastery Swift Spear. This will hit me in the face for 1, but we will Spikefield Hazard it. Get it out of here. And we'll play Sokuzan here, so we can Shark Typhoon for 1 to maybe chump block something. That's not bad to chump block. I feel like I'm in big trouble just because they are constantly burning my face. More so than anything. And here comes another light off the stage. Skewer the critics. Sheesh! You do not know the meaning of the word stop playing burn spells, huh? Alright, we're 1 turn away from taking an extra turn. What the heck? Do they just have it? Do they just have it? We really need to just hold up counter magic now. I can't say no to Galvanic Iteration. Okay, yeah, this makes me feel a little better here. I think actually we are now holding out for counter magic to keep ourselves alive. Soul Scar Mage, oh god. Soul Scar Mage can be bounced with Otawara. Go ahead and do it here. Boop. Buys myself an extra turn. They replay it. I feel like they have a burn spell that does like 3 damage over there. Divide by 0 is wonderful. Alright, first of all, negate. Second of all, cast with kicker. Okay, math is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have double blue still? Yeah. Extra turns! 2 extra turns as a matter of fact. And we chill. We will use Divide by 0 to protect ourselves. In moments like this, we will grab Environmental Sciences to keep our life total high. And they scoop! Yes! Haha! Let's go! Beat out Mono Red Burn! That was a close one. Oh, man. Oh, that had me on the edge of my seat. Holy cow, that was tough. I think my early decision to shock in that Steam Vents paid off, but man, that was a scary choice. Going all the way down to 4 at the end when they have tons of 3 damage burn spells is rough. GG's. So that's Izzet Turns. You actually saw every single game I played this time around. I played 6 and I won 6 for the recording session, which is incredibly unlikely, mind you, but I got on a good streak and I played the deck pretty well, and I think part of that is to do with the fact this is one of my favorite decks that I've, crafted. Mostly because it's based off of the deck that got me into Magic, fun fact. I believe it's technically still on the channel somewhere. I made a video, it was one of my first Magic videos, just talking about a Metaform Hellkite extra turns deck for Standard, way back when, well, obviously back when Kaldheim was Standard and before I learned Epiphany's ban in Standard. So, you know, that does let you know, how long ago it was. It was a good chunk ago, but it was one of my favorite decks. It got me into playing Magic more and more and more. I loved the way the deck played and the tempo felt, and this is pretty much it, just in a stronger form because of the access to some of the cards inside of the Explorer format, having access to Shark Typhoon and Fiery Impulse, and as well as the Steam Vents and such in the mana base. It really, really pushes this deck to another level compared to what it used to do in Standard, and it was already really good in Standard. I do feel like this deck will fall apart really quick into certain matchups, but those are mostly controlling matchups in my opinion. I feel like into Azorius perhaps, or Dimir control, it would probably fall apart. I feel like an Enigmatic Incarnation deck, it might have some problems playing into. But overall, I think it sits in an okay spot in the meta. I think it would actually deal with Rakdos decently well, because you can tempo Rakdos pretty hard with this deck, and just slowly grind your way into extra turn spells. You would need to be very careful playing into stuff like Shieldred, obviously, but I think you could find a way around it. You could obviously sideboard in stuff that would work for the deck. As you can see, there's a lot of one-offs in the deck of oh, this card's very good, but you don't really run multiple for a best of 1 or the first game of a best of 3, stuff like Behold the Multiverse. And you can include stuff like Hullbreaker Horror in the sideboard, something that you could go hunt up eventually via drawing to win the game off of it. You could also include stuff in your sideboard like more Disdainful Strokes, Negates, and things of the like, more counter spells. You could also include stuff like, what is it? I have to search for it this way because I don't remember the name of the spell. There it is, Rebel Salvo, which deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And then you can also include stuff like Fry, a just classic sideboard card to to include. You can include stuff like that, stuff that is specific for counter matchups. You do have to be very careful about your sideboard, though. You have a similar problem to Nykthos ramp, like Mono Green Devotion, because your sideboard is a target for stuff. Like, they use Karn to hit their sideboard to find stuff to play. We use Divide by Zero to find stuff in our sideboard to play. So that is something important to keep track of and try and remember, is that, okay, well, I don't have as many slots in my sideboard as I wanted. You could also cut some of these cards from your sideboard in order to have more true sideboard space, but I do feel like each of them serves their different purpose and different matchups, so it's always a good idea to include one of each, potentially more if you so choose. But that'll be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. It's all very useful to me and the channel. Helps me out. Goodness, my brain farted out on that one. And it just lets me know that you like videos like this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you in the next one.